Buckle up, my friends. It's going to heat up in Hendersonville, I believe. Seth Rogers is speaking up crystal clear about who he thinks is responsible for the disappearance of his son, Sebastian Rogers, who has been missing 230 days today. He says he has shocking info coming, and we're going to discuss it. This is Crime Time Buzz. We are here for entertainment purposes only. This is not to be taken as fact but speculation, theory, and my opinion. No one is being accused. This is all alleged. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome in and welcome back, friends. Boy, things are really heating up or going to. Seth Rogers has spoken out that when he was on court TV, which we saw on one of our lives, that he believes KP and CP did something to his son, Sebastian, and that they know where he is. So he also claims that, you know, KP is not begging people to help. She's not helping. And he said she never loved her son. So lots going on. He's got his voice. He's speaking for Sebastian. He's speaking up. And then, even more so, he was on another show and he was talking about the CPS reports that he's seen, that he's gone through over and over, apparently, a lot. Can you imagine the torment of reading that and your son's missing? Excuse me. And then he called CP a child ABU, you know what? And that's that when they started talking about shocking news that was going to be coming out. And apparently, the host of the show knows too, because Tony said, "How would you feel?" And he said, "I'd be on the roof screaming." So I think it's bad, friends. I think the belt incident is mild in comparison, in my opinion, based on what they're alluding to. So it breaks my absolute heart. This is the third time I've been making this video because my emotions were getting so high. Just it angers me. So, friends, they are going to bring forth this information. I think things are going to heat up in Hendersonville. Unfortunately, not where Sebastian is, or maybe this will. Maybe this will lead to some charges. Maybe this will lead to something not related to, related to Sebastian, but other types of charges. I mean, I believe his father could press charges for his minor child. And so maybe that would loosen things up. I mean, hey, let's go back into the courthouse for something regarding Sebastian, right? Something in honor of Sebastian, protecting Sebastian. I mean, you know my opinion, to have the audacity, my alleged opinion, to put your fanny on a court bench in there when you lost a child, allegedly, in my opinion. You're not searching for a child, allegedly, in my opinion. You don't have a single timeline from one interview that matches another, in my opinion. You treated the boy terribly with hit him with a belt. You said it yourself, CP. So there's a lot. And then to be able to sit and say, I'm scared to take up court time for that. Sebastian was scared. He's smaller than you are. Sebastian was scared. He's smaller. He didn't deserve that. No child does. But to have the audacity to say you're scared and take up a court bench for that. Sorry, friends, this is a tough one. So, anyway, Seth has found his voice. He said he's no longer holding back. He is going to bring forth what he can legally. That's what he's waiting on, is to see the legal parameters he needs to follow. And he's going to bring it forth, and it's shocking. And apparently, according to Tony Mathis, he said people who are on the fence may have a different side at that point or come to the other side. So it's not pretty. I think it's going to rock the true crime community because So many of us are invested in this wonderful little boy. It's nothing we're going to want to hear, my friends. So we'll hear it together. But Seth is, he's strong, obviously, because he's held his tongue all this time. And by the way, for the record, he did not know about the CPS reports until after Sebastian went missing. CPS allegedly was told that Seth was not involved in Sebastian's life. So, can you imagine? And so then he finds it out after his son goes missing. And I think he's pretty composed for that, my friends. So a lot's going on, but still no where is Sebastian. The dog, the bounty hunter, has raised the reward to 125,000, or added to the reward, making it $125,000, leading to the location and whereabouts of Sebastian Rogers. So other things that were said is on Court TV. If you didn't see it in our live, we watched it. So I'll give you a recap of what was said, because that was the debut of Seth really not holding back and coming forth. And I'm glad he's finally saying something. He's been searching alone. He's been going to vigils alone. He's been begging for help alone. I mean, he's been doing interviews alone. I don't think May, June, July. I think it's been what, 4 months since the mother has. So he's doing all this by himself. And he said, she doesn't love her son. And then he said, in my opinion, my professional opinion, he said, I think KP and CP did something to my son and they know where he is. And they are using Sumner County Sheriff's Office, allegedly, to cover it up. And they are hiding from the real law. So he said a lot there. And so I hope, I really hope that something comes of the things he's saying, because they're important. This is from the father. And they are going to, I mean, I just cannot believe. Let's think about this for a second. And this is what Tony Mathis said. If there was a babysitter watching Sebastian that night, and Sebastian went missing, and she said, well, I went in his room and checked on him and he just wasn't there. I didn't hear anything. I didn't see anything. Nothing. What do you think would be done to the babysitter? Something. Certainly more investigating. Okay, then let's take it a step further. Now, this is me. This wasn't Tony Mathis. I'm adding to it. They start investigating and they say, well, there's no scent. It doesn't show that he's left the house. There's no evidence. Then what do you think's happening to the babysitter? Okay. Then they watch 3 or 4 interviews that the babysitter does. And not one of her stories is the same as the other. And not one of the timelines is the same as the other. Things are added, omitted. Then what do you think's happening to the babysitter? So I ask. The babysitter was responsible, accountable, and would be held accountable. So I ask, why is this not happening in Sebastian's case? Sebastian's mother was in charge of him. She was supervising him. Her own words, she was home alone with him. I do not understand, with all those things that I just said with the babysitter are true here, in my opinion, why we're vacationing, why we're RVing, why we're walking around while our son is lost. So I'm glad Seth is finding his voice. And I know some people are absolutely appalled that he's speaking out. But you know what? He has a right to, and I'm glad he has. He's Sebastian's only voice. He's Sebastian's only parent, in my opinion, who is looking for him, who's doing anything for him, in my opinion. So shocking info coming out up. Friends, I want you to buckle up. We'll listen to it together. We'll get through it together. I think it's going to rock our world a little bit. And hopefully something will crumble around something and lead to Sebastian or someone speaking up. There's a $125,000 reward now. Thank you so much for being here for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Let's bring him home, friends.